Hey everybody, so today we're going to be reviewing Rampage World Tour for the Nintendo 64.
So this is the first of two Rampage games made for the N64. And if you don't know, Rampage is a classic arcade game that's made it over to a bunch of every home console at the time. And some weren't, some of the games weren't ports, but this one is. It's a straight port. It's really faithful to the original, and it sounds practically the same. It looks practically the same. But one thing about the sound is that the N64 can handle better, and it does sound muffled out sometimes, and So the graphics are the same too. They're not. They look 3D, but they're not. They're like sprites and stuff. So you can play up to 3 players in this game with 3 different monsters to choose from. One's like a sort of King Kong type monkey, big gorilla thing. His name's George, and then another one's like a Godzilla type thing called Lizzie. And then the third one is like a werewolf creature, and his name's Ralph. And these are all really giant, monster size monsters.
Yeah, I think my favorite character of this game is probably Lizzie, the Godzilla creature, because he's just the coolest. You can't go wrong with the green guy.
Yeah. So the objective in this game, if you can't already tell, it's just to destroy everything. It's pretty simple. It's just you climb up on a building, you jump on top of it, and you just destroy it. And also you can climb up on the side and gather items and whatnot.
Yeah, they have special items too, like this barrel of radioactive purple waste, which turns you into some flying gargoyle thing, and you could destroy stuff really easily. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and also because when you climb up on the side, you can punch the building, and it opens up this little hole, and you'll see items in there. And sometimes they're couches and chairs and stuff that doesn't taste good. And because you can eat anything pretty much, and when you eat it, it makes them throw up, which is kind of funny. But sometimes you find a bunch of bananas, or even on the sidewalk, you can pick up humans and eat them.
Which is probably the coolest part of this game.
Yeah, but I think if you eat too many, you might throw up.
Yeah.
So it is called World Tour. So you do travel to different parts of the world. At least that's what it says. But when you actually go to these places, besides the backgrounds looking different, you'll come across pretty much the same buildings over and over, and it does get repetitive, and each place sort of feels the same. You never feel if it says you're in China, it doesn't really feel like you're in China, because the buildings are the same as they were in New York or whatever.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of this game is that you could actually jump on vehicles, like planes flying by. You could jump on them and control them and stuff. Also tanks, you could control them, and I think it's the tank that you could actually jump on and shoot little missiles at people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and at all times there's a bunch of people shooting at you, and you're gonna die a lot. But and back in the day, this ate up a lot of quarters, I'm sure, because you die a lot. But actually with this port, you have unlimited lives, so you never die. You just come back, you press start, and when you die, you actually turn into this little human being, like you were transforming, and they're naked and they run off all embarrassed.
Yeah, that's probably the weirdest part about this game.
Yeah. So unlimited lives, it's like a double-edged sword. It does mean it's easier, and that's pretty good for crazy multiplayer matches when you're not trying to be a pro and speed run the thing. But on the other hand, you don't really, there's no really techniques to perfect or work on, really, and that doesn't offer a lot of incentive to play it again if you're playing alone. But again, with multiplayer, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, pretty much the controls is A is jump and B is hit, and then you could use the analog stick to hit in different directions, and down B is to pick up stuff and eat it.
So this game, the overall experience, it's the same as the arcade. It's very simple. And you have to remember this game came out in the arcades about 25 years ago, so it's really old, and the gameplay itself is even, you could say, outdated. So, like, a port is okay for, like, the SNES or something, but for the N64, I would have expected something a little more advanced technologically and, like, creatively, like, because the N64 can handle more, and I would have liked to see them try something new while retaining the old style of gameplay.
Yeah.
So overall, it's a good it's a good game to buy if you have like a friend to play with a lot, because it is fun with multiplayer, no doubt. But I wouldn't pay more than like $5 for it. And if you're planning on like getting a game like to spend some time on by yourself, this is not a good game.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that you should play with friends.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable in multiplayer mode, and it will have you playing for hours.
So that's the review of Rampage World Tour for the N64. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.
Oh,